Picture this. It's opening night at London's world-famous Palladium Theatre. Tickets cost more than a weekend getaway, the chandelier's buzzing, and every seat is filled with people ready to cheer Rachel Zegler's grand West End debut as Eva Perón. But before the first act is even over, whole rows are on their feet, not for a standing ovation, but for the exits. Angry murmurs turn into refund demands, social feeds explode, and what was supposed to be a triumphant comeback suddenly looks like the West End's fastest-moving train wreck. How did a sure-thing revival of Evita become the viral walkout everyone's memeing? Why is Rachel, Hollywood's once golden rising star, at the center of the storm instead of center stage? Get ready, because the drama behind those velvet curtains is wilder than anything you'll find in the script. And trust me, the story only gets messier from here. For Rachel, this job looked like redemption wrapped in rhinestones. After the Snow White press tour imploded, remember the viral stalker Prince quote, "She needed PR CPR." What better cure than Eva Perón, a role soaked in history, intrigue, and vocal fireworks? Rachel practiced singing Spanish consonants until dawn, even dropping a lucrative streaming gig so nothing clashed with rehearsal. Everything pointed to a flawless comeback. Jamie Lloyd, meanwhile, teased arts pages with buzzwords like radical excavation and myth surgery. Translation: big changes ahead. His earlier hits, a Cyrano staged with only microphones and a Macbeth where Lady M wore sneakers, made headlines. Controversy sells, and producers backed him with deep pockets. Marketing went hypernova. Neon posters shrieked, "Reimagined." Trailers boomed with tribal drums and moody scaffolding, and social ads promised Evita like you've never seen. Tickets blew past $300 and still vanished within minutes. But nobody asked what happens when that hype balloon pops mid-flight. House lights fade, a blinding floodlight slams on like a police spotlight, revealing bare floorboards, exposed rigging, and scaffold towers that could double as building site leftovers. The orchestra pit is boarded over. Instead of violins, a thin backing track crackles through hidden speakers. Rachel appears barefoot, wrapped in what looks like a hotel bedsheet. She slays Buenos Aires, but without live horns or strings, the song dangles in mid-air like an unanswered phone. Programs rustle as someone whispers, "Did someone forget to finish building the set?" And just when everyone expects the big showstopper balcony moment, the spotlight shoots to a video screen. Rachel is outside. Yes, literally outside, on a modest ledge above the theater doors, belting "Don't Cry for Me, Argentina" to confuse tourists and a passing double-decker bus. Inside, the audience watches on a grainy live feed like they paid a premium price to watch a street cam. Half the crowd squints, half the crowd gasps, and a bold handful whispers the three deadliest words in theater. Is this it? Murmurs ripple. Programs rustle. A soft, collective shifting of coats signals the universal code for regretting that second glass of interval wine. What began as curiosity has morphed into buyer's remorse, and the night is barely halfway done. But the trickle toward the exits is about to turn into a stampede. It starts with a single coat rustling in row G. One couple slips out, apologizing down the line as if they're ducking out of a bad movie. Then a family in row D grabs their programs, eyes wide, and follows. Within minutes, the exits glow like runway lights, guiding wave after wave of disenchanted theatergoers toward the lobby. By the end of Act 1, the balcony is echoing like an empty gym, and that ticket that once felt like a golden key suddenly feels like a parking ticket you can't refund fast enough. Outside, the chaos keeps growing. A line spirals around the box office window as furious patrons demand their money back, some clutching $300 stubs like evidence in a courtroom drama. One woman live streams the scene, counting every head that marches past her phone. Her caption? Evita exit, caught in real time. The clip hits 1 million views before Act 2 even starts. Meanwhile, TikTok spins up the hashtag Evita exit, and videos of the walkout multiply faster than you can hit refresh. In less than an hour, Rachel's big night has turned into the West End's biggest meme. Inside the theater, the curtain rises for Act 2 to scattered applause that sounds more like polite pity. The empty seats glare under the stage lights, each one a silent review that screams hard pass. But the plot twist isn't on stage anymore. It's on every phone in the building. Posts flood X, Instagram, and forum threads. Is Jamie Lloyd trolling us? Did I just pay premium prices for rehearsal? Some messages drip with anger, others with disbelief, but they all share one thunderclap conclusion. This was not the Evita London paid for. And while the audience vents online, trouble is brewing where the public can't see it, just behind that velvet curtain, where cast and crew brace for impact. Because once the seats go empty, the blame game begins, and everyone's pointing fingers backstage. By dawn, meme makers feast. Split-screen edits pair Patti LuPone's legendary singing of "Don't Cry for Me, Argentina" with Rachel's pixelated street cam, captioned "Expectation versus Wi-Fi reality." Goat screams replace applause, and a Hamilton account tweets, "At least our show had a set." 80,000 likes later, Evita is comedy currency. With every refresh, the narrative snowballs. Radical art project, miscast starlet, ticket price robbery. The memes mock, the reviews scorch, and hashtag Evita exit climbs to number 3 worldwide. And backstage, inside those walls, damage control is about to get real, and the finger pointing has only just begun. Hallways buzz like a trapped swarm, screenshots leak, stage management orders a digital blackout, PR drafts a passionate audience engagement spin, and an emergency call sheet schedules alternate staging. Producers barricade themselves in a cramped office, coffee cups breeding on every surface. Options: import a 30-piece orchestra, rent vintage costumes, or close fast and blame market forces. Every minute burns cash. Jamie Lloyd is spotted diving into a cab, scarf hiding his face. Reporters camp by the stage door. Cast morale sinks. Some rehearse anyway because muscle memory is comfort when the walls shake. Meanwhile, sources claim Rachel slipped out a side door, mascara streaked and phone dark, skipping the after-party that had already downgraded from champagne toast to damage-control donut box. Some castmates tried to rally her with, "We'll get him tomorrow." But let's be real. Tomorrow's ticket holders had already seen the memes tonight. And somewhere in the green room, someone supposedly asked unmentionable question, did we just ruin Evita? Or did Evita just ruin us? Because when every exit sign feels like a ticking clock, the next move can either save the show or sink it for good. Traditionalists cry ambush, opera-level prices for minimalist shock art, message boards lit up with stunt casting and Gen Z gimmick. Even respected critics split down the middle. Some praised her pipes, others shrugged. Great voice, zero gravitas. Then came the younger fans, Rachel's online army, primed to defend their queen. But even her supporters admit the bare stage made their star look stranded, like someone dropped a Disney princess onto a dystopian art exhibit. Meanwhile, whispers swirl that casting Rachel was less about artistry and more about headlines. If true, that sets her up to be the scapegoat if things continue to go south. But the real crunch isn't ideology, it's economics. If rows stay empty and memes keep multiplying, producers have to choose. Pivot hard or pull the plug. Because in the West End, seats don't lie, and with the weekend crowd on the horizon, the next move could make or break this battered revival. At sunrise, the producers jam into a tiny conference room above the Palladium bar. Coffee, cold, tempers, piping hot. Plan A, pretend it's all part of the vision and hope the buzz turns artsy. Plan B, toss the vision overboard. Rumors say a rescue kit is already on the table. Rent an orchestra, drag in a half-built set from storage, and ditch that balcony livestream stunt before Friday. It'll cost thousands, but empty seats are bleeding cash even faster. Ticket sales? Wobbling like a wobbly thing. Box office staff field calls from fans asking if the new, improved version will be ready by the weekend. Nobody has a straight answer. Marketing brainstorms, flash sale ideas, half-price offers, free drink vouchers, anything to restuff those rows. One bold PR rep even pitches a live Q&A with Rachel and Jamie to own the narrative. Another team member mutters, "Only if security's included." So here's the million-dollar cliffhanger. Will a last-minute overhaul calm the crowd? Or will Evita fade out faster than a TikTok trend? Because in the drama of showbiz, the curtain never drops on questions or on consequences. And the final act? You won't want to miss it. So here we are. A legendary musical reimagined in minimalist form, a Hollywood star stranded on an empty stage, and a director whose silence is almost louder than the booze. One opening night turned into a viral firestorm, refund lines wrapped the Palladium, and hashtag Evita exit sprinted up the trend list quicker than you can hum "Don't Cry for Me, Argentina." The lesson? Even a can't-miss comeback can nosedive when creativity, culture, and cold hard ticket prices collide. Will Jamie Lloyd's risky vision get a last-minute makeover? Can Rachel Zegler weather another reputation storm and prove the purists wrong? Or will this revival live on only as a cautionary meme for every producer who thinks controversy automatically equals cash? Keep your eyes on the marquee because the next move decides everything, a triumphant turnaround or a closing night headline. Either way, the drama's far from over, and you know we'll be here to spill every drop of tea.